Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel. My name is Becky and I am a first year, first grade teacher. I am super excited for today's video. We are going to be talking all about Cricut and all about how I use my Cricut in my classroom and especially how I use my Cricut to make teacher t-shirts. So I don't know if you're like me, but I absolutely love teacher t-shirts. You can pretty much throw it on with anything and it automatically makes every outfit look cute. You can wear it with skirts, you can put them over dresses, with jeans, work pants, anything, everything. They are awesome. But I wanted to, first of all, thank Cricut for sponsoring today's video. They graciously sent me a Cricut Explore 3, and that is what I will be using today to make my teacher t-shirts. Now, I personally love Cricut. I have been using Cricut for several months now and love them. So when they reached out to me, of course, 100% yes. I am so excited to be talking about them. And thank you again, Cricut, for sponsoring today's video. First and foremost, I wanted to tell you guys all about the Cricut that I bought myself. So as soon as I found out that I was getting my first grade teaching job, I went and I bought myself a Cricut. So last year I was actually a Title I tutor and had like a small little tutoring room, and I found it quite challenging to decorate without having a Cricut and knew that as soon as I got my full-time position, I was going to be getting myself one. So I went ahead and I bought the Cricut Explore Air 2. It was right before the Cricut Explore 3s came out and I got it a little bit on sale. So I went and I bought this with my own money and I've been using it since about May, and I have made so many things for my classroom. So I think I made, what did I do? I used it with vinyl. I absolutely love Cricut's vinyl. So I used their vinyl a ton in my classroom with just labeling a bunch of things. So I used them on my book bins to make sure that my kids had numbers on all the book bins. I did not want to put their names on them with like a label or anything because we know kids are going to pick them off. So I used permanent vinyl and labeled all of my book bins with my kids' numbers. I also used my Cricut to make vinyl for my junior teacher. I don't do class jobs in my classroom. I just pick one student who is my go-to student for the day. So I made, I used the, not permanent, the easily removable vinyl and used that for my junior teacher sign as well as my on-course schedule sign. In case I ever move classrooms, I'll easily be able to remove that for the next teacher who has my classroom. And then I also used my Cricut to make, I didn't use it to make bulletin board letters, although you can use it for bulletin board letters. I used mine to make my little corner that says books that we have read because it was in cursive. So I just printed it on some cardstock using my Cricut and laminated it, and that is how I made those letters in my classroom. So that is just a few ways that I used my own personal Cricut in my classroom and knew that I wanted to make some teacher t-shirts with this one, but just didn't get around to it. And then Cricut reached out to me and they sent me the Cricut Explore 3, which looks almost exactly the same as the Air 2, except it is slightly better. I absolutely love this one. Ever since I got this one, I have only used mine a few times just because of the additional things that this one does. Now, Cricut also sent with the Explore 3 the Cricut heat press that looks just like this. Now, you can use a normal iron to make t-shirts with your Cricut, but the heat press that I have right here that is actually by Cricut helps a lot in making sure that the heat is evenly distributed right over your design, and it is permanent and stays so that you don't have any mishaps like you could have with an iron. So let's go ahead. We are gonna get on into the video. I'm gonna show you exactly how I make all of my teacher t-shirts, and warning, since it is fall, I am all about all things fall, so I will be making a few fall teacher t-shirts as well in this video in case you love fall just as much as I do. So first thing first, you're gonna wanna open up your Cricut app. So here is mine, and you can obviously tell here are some of my designs here at the bottom. So you're gonna click new project right here, and this is what it's going to take you to. This is the Cricut design space. So the nice thing about Cricut is that they have all of these options here on the side. So they actually have some different templates and things if you want to use theirs. So right here they have images, and you can search through and you can search any type of image that you would like. I am going to be using this feature for this shirt in particular, but for right now I'm gonna go back to new right here, and I'm gonna click text. So before doing this video, I went and I actually looked up a bunch of t-shirts off of Etsy, and one that I saw that I really liked said we all grow at different rates. I thought that this was super great, especially for this year and kind of just how everything has been with COVID. So I really wanted to design this shirt. So I'm gonna type out what I want it to say. And then I actually want the different rates part to be, I want it to be down below like this, and I'm going to take away that space. And then now that I have this written down, I'm going to look up here on font. So the nice thing about Cricut is that they actually have a bunch of fonts that you can use if you are subscribed. I believe it is $9.99 a month, and you can set it up whenever you get your Cricut machine. So I went ahead and I bought it when I got my Cricut machine because I knew that I was going to be using it. So these are the different fonts, and you can just click on download and then you can use that font. So that also has, like right here, if you click system, these are all of the fonts that you have on your own computer. So these are some of the ones that maybe I've downloaded, I think from Teachers Pay Teachers or something. But here I'm just going to click all because I really like to see both of them. But the one that I think I want to be using for this shirt is AG. That's not for me. This is one of my favorite fonts. I believe I got it off of the TPT store. So here it is. And then like I said, I want to include an image. So I'm going to go over here to images, and I really, really want to include some plants since it is talking about growing. So I'm going to type in succulent plants. Apparently I don't know how to spell succulent, but we're just going to go for it. Maybe it has 2 C's. And I'm looking for a couple succulents in a row. The one that I have in mind is not popping up. Ooh, I kind of like these ones right here. These colored ones. Ooh, here we go. I like this one right here. And you can see, since I am subscribed, I can use these pictures. If not, you would have to look for the ones that say free on it. But again, since I'm subscribed, I can click any of these. So I'm going to click add to canvas. And so here they are right here. I'm going to adjust, I'm going to move this up. And the nice thing about this as well is that you can see how big it is. So up here, this is going to be about 9 inches. And then down here, my whole design will be about 6 inches. I'm going to make this just slightly bigger. And what I like to do is I actually like to take out a ruler and I will measure what it will look like on my t-shirt, which I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to do that right now and measure and see if it is how I want it to look like, and then I'll adjust accordingly. So now that I've made my adjustments, what I'm going to do is I am going to highlight over all of this, and I am going to click weld down here at the bottom. So now my design is one full complete picture. So if I don't do this, let me go ahead, let me undo what I just did. If I do not do this, they are 2 separate pictures. So when I click make it over here, and it goes to like the cutting process. My goodness, my laptop is making some noises. And then without a mat, it will have it on 2 separate mats, and that's not what I want. I want it to be one complete picture. So I'm going to click cancel. I'm going to go all the way back. I'm going to weld them together. So you're just going to right click, highlight over it all like this, and click weld. So now it is one complete picture. And again, something awesome about Cricut this app is that they have templates over here, and you can actually see what your design will look like on the different templates. So I'm gonna scroll until it's kind of far down, not maternity shirt, scoop neck t-shirt. And let me just wait for it to pop up. Here we go. So you can actually see what your design is going to look like on your t-shirt, which is really, really cool. And I am going to make this just slightly bigger. I want it to be 9 inches-ish. There we go. And if you decide that you are trying to put something on the back of the t-shirt, you can also put something on the back over here as well. So right now, I am going to click. Actually, I'm going to save it first. I like to save all of my things. So I'm just going to write what I put on my shirt. And I'm going to click t-shirts, save. And now it is all saved and ready to go for me. Now, before I show you guys how to cut it, I wanted to show you guys up here. It has basic cut, so you want to make sure that it is what you want. So I want it on cut, and the color that I'm going to be doing is black. So you want to make sure that it is on the color that you would like. So now that it is all ready to go, I'm going to click make it. And here we have, so the nice thing about the Cricut Explore 3 is that you actually do not have to use a mat. So I'm going to click without a mat. I have smart vinyl and then done. And then something super important as well that you want to make sure that you do is that you click this button right here, the mirror button. I totally messed up the first time I decided to make something, and I did not click this and ruined my whole design. So you want to make sure that you click mirror, because what you're going to do is you're going to be pressing it on, so the words need to be backwards so that they can go on in the right direction. So you want to make sure that you have this mirror button clicked, and then I'm going to click continue. And here is where it needs to connect to my device, which do not have it plugged in. So I'm going to go grab my Cricut Explore 3, take it out and set it all up so then I can make my cut. Now that I have made my design, I'm going to go ahead. I plugged in my Cricut to my computer and into the outlet, so it is ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to open it. Now, I do have to say, I feel like anytime I open up my Cricut, it needs like the sound effect that's like, ah, I don't know why, but I just love watching it open. So it is opening, and then I am going to use this smart vinyl. So something that I love about the Cricut Explore 3 is that you can use the smart vinyl with it. So the smart vinyl is awesome because you do not need a mat. Sometimes the mat can be kind of a pain. So I love that I do not have to use it with this Cricut, and you want to make sure that you get the iron on. If you're using this, you cannot use a regular vinyl. It has to be the iron on so that the heat can transfer and then you can make your shirt. So make sure that you get the iron on one. So this is the one I am just using black for right now, but there are so many different colors. So I'm gonna open up my vinyl. So here's my vinyl. I also have this awesome feature that comes with the Cricut, and it is this, and it will actually hold your smart vinyl so that it does not fall off, and that it is perfectly in line with your Cricut. So you want to make sure that when you do this, there's a shiny side and then there's a not shiny side. So you want to make sure that the shiny side goes down, because that is actually the sticky part. So I am just going to feed this through this awesome attachment and get it all lined up and ready to go. So now that this is all turned on and ready to go, I'm going to turn back over to my computer. So here it says select Cricut device. I'm going to click Explore 3. So here it's going to ask about my material. So I told you guys earlier that I'm using the Smart Iron On, and then pressure is just default, and down here it is just asking to load tools and materials. I already have it set up and ready to go. I just have to click this lovely button over here. So if you look over here on my Cricut, it is actually blinking right now, so I am just going to click, now that it's measured everything, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna click the flashing button right here that says start, and I'm going to click that, and it is gonna do its thing. So the awesome thing about this attachment is that after you unload everything, all you have to do is slide this bar and it will cut off your design that you created. So now you have all of this extra smart vinyl that you can still use, and it's not like a janky line from cutting it. It is perfectly straight and ready to go. So I'm going to slide this across, and then we will have our completed design. And then over here, all I'm going to click is I'm going to click finish. And here it is. It just took me back to my design if I wanted to make it again. So now I have my completed design. You can't really tell where it's cut just because of how the lighting is. But next thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need this weeding tool right here. And something that I love about the Smart Iron on Vinyl is that it is so easy to weed everything out. Sometimes I feel like the other vinyl is a little bit trickier and more tedious, but this one is super easy and comes off like butter. So I'm gonna weed this all out, and then we'll be ready to go. So this is what my design looks like. And like I said, I had to have that mirrored feature on. Otherwise, it would be actually backwards whenever you iron it on. So this is what it looks like. But before I iron this on, I want to show you another way to design t-shirts. So this was just one easy way that you can create shirts, but there is actually another way that I wanted to show you that I just recently discovered. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna click new. No, I wanna save. So I am gonna click, so it is a new canvas. So here is a blank canvas again. So the awesome thing about Cricut is that you can also upload designs. So you can see I already uploaded one here, but I'll show you how I do that. So you can actually buy designs, or sometimes you can find free images of designs online. I went ahead and I thought this one was so funny. So I went and I bought this off of Etsy, and then I downloaded it onto my computer. And so how I uploaded it was that you can click here and you can go upload image, and then you can click browse. So over here, I wanted to get the white one. So I clicked PNG because it is supported by PNG. So I'm gonna click open. And I wanted to click, so it has either if it has a simple design, or if it's moderately complex, or if it's very complex. So I just clicked moderately complex just to be safe. And then I'm gonna click continue. And then from here, I can click, you can erase the background, but since this is a transparent background, I don't have to erase any background at all. So I'm gonna click continue. And I'm obviously not printing then cutting. I just want to cut the image with my Cricut. So I'm gonna click upload. And then I'm going to click on this one, add to canvas. And then here it is. Of course, it's huge because it was a really large, oops, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click minus. Down here, you can adjust how big it is. So here's my image that I just uploaded that took all of like a minute to do. And I am going to reduce the size because it was way too big. And I'm gonna keep reducing it. Oops, I didn't mean to click that button. Reduce it again, and here we can look and see again just how big it is. Of course, I do not want it to be 24 inches. That is way too big. Let's make it that small. Let's get a little bit closer and see exactly how big it is. So right now it looks like it is about 10 inches. So I'm gonna do kind of like what I did on my last t-shirt. I'm gonna take out my ruler and measure on my t-shirt how big exactly I want this to be. Right now it looks like it's at about 9 inches by 10 inches. So I'm gonna see if that's just a little too big, if I wanna make it smaller, and then I can fully adjust the size. Okay, so I just measured my shirt, and 8 by 8 or 8 by 8 1/4 seems to be just about perfect. So this is my design, and like I said, that was super quick and easy. If you do have a design that you really like but just you don't have Procreate, or you don't have something to design it, I personally don't have an iPad with Procreate on it. I know a lot of people can make their designs that way, but again, you can find designs super easy. If you don't find one on Cricut, you can just upload one yourself. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna change this color because mine is actually going to be white. So now this is what it's going to look like when I cut it out. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut this design out before I iron on my last design that I just created, since I already have my Cricut machine out already. So like I said, now you're just gonna click make it. And I'm gonna click without a mat because I still am using the Smart Vinyl. I'm just gonna be using it in the white color. And then I wanna double check and make sure I have the right sizing. It looks like it's gonna be 8 by 9-ish. That should be perfect. And then again, don't forget to click this mirror button right over here. Super important. And then we're gonna click continue. It's already connected to my machine, and I'm gonna click Smart Iron on. And in case you are looking at these and they don't have what you're looking for, you can browse all materials, and here are all the different materials that Cricut has. But of course mine popped up on the first try. Default. I am gonna load up my machine and then I'm gonna get to cutting. So for this design, I'm going to be using the Smart Iron-On, same thing but in white. So I've actually used this one to make a trial shirt when I was testing out some of these products. So I have just a piece right here. So it's not the full roll, but I already used some of it. And again, you're gonna wanna make sure that you put the shiny side down. So here I have the matte side, and I am just going to feed it through this right here. So I'm gonna feed it through and line it all up and make sure it is good to go. Once it is all ready and set, I can click my flashing light right here that is saying load. So I am going to load it in, and now it is just going to measure it, make sure that it is long enough for my cut that it is going to be doing. Perfect. And whenever it pops up, we should be ready to go. So now that I've showed you guys how to design your own t-shirts and how to design them from templates or pictures or whatever, I have a couple more shirts. I may or may not have gone to Michael's and just like bought a whole bunch of shirts while they were on sale. That's where I got all of these shirts that I'm going to be using next. But I am going to just design a couple more shirts while I have my Cricut Explore still out, and then we will get on to how to actually use our Cricut press and iron all of our shirt designs to our t-shirts. now that I've finished designing and cutting and weeding all of my t-shirt designs, I am finally going to show you how to use the Cricut heat press and how to iron on all of our designs onto our t-shirts. Now, I do have to say, this is probably my favorite part, so I hope you guys enjoy. So here is the Cricut heat press. I am just going to turn it on right there. So my heat press is warming up. I'm now going to take my design that I already cut and I am going to do my best to put it as center as possible. Now, if you are one who is super OCD and wants it to be perfectly straight, you can measure it, but I just kind of eyeball it. That's just how I am, but you can do what works best for you. So I am going to lay it down like this and see how it looks like. That looks pretty good to me. And then what I like to do is I like to take a piece of parchment paper and put it on top just to protect the t-shirt. So I'm going to place it like that. It looks like the heat press is almost ready for us to go, and there it is. It will make a ding noise. So it is ready, and I'm just going to hold it down for 30 seconds. So now I'm going to take this off, and I did move the heat press over because my design was a little bit long. So now for the best part is to peel it back. Now, if you pick it up and it looks like the design is still on there, then you might want to press it down a little bit more. It looks like I forgot to get this corner edge right over here. So I'm just gonna hold it down on this side for just a little bit longer. And now for the most satisfying part, when it is all done, you just take this and you peel it away, and then it just smoothly comes up. Just going slow, just in case for some reason there were some parts that didn't stick, but it looks like it's pretty good. And here we have our first shirt. I love how it turned out. It is so cute. And now that I've got shirt number 1 down, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish the rest of the designs that I have made. So all of my t-shirt designs are complete, and I am so excited with how they turned out. I may or may not have made a few extras just to show you all of the awesome designs that you can create with your Cricut and some awesome t-shirts that you can create yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna show you guys all of the t-shirts that I created, and hopefully it'll give you guys some inspiration for your own t-shirts if you decide to create some. So this is the first one, and this is how it turned out with Teaching is a Walk in the Park. I absolutely love this one. I used whatever the vinyl is that changes colors. I can't think of the name right now, but depending on the light, it changes colors. Like if I go over here, it kind of turns and it's shimmery. Love this one. I do have to mention, if you do use this kind of vinyl, something that I didn't know before is that once you press it and iron it on, you have to wait until it is dry it is cold and then peel it off. That's something that I did not know and learned really quickly. So that's a little tip if you're using that kind of vinyl. This is the next one. I love how this one turned out and with the color that it turned out with. And then this one over here just has my name on it. Both of these two I actually just created from Cricut off of what they already had on there, and then kind of just wrote up what I wanted it to. And then this one I actually downloaded a PNG image of that one. So these are the first 3. And these are the last 3 that I created. These ones are my fall/Halloween ones. I absolutely love fall, so I was super excited to finally have some fall and Halloween t-shirts. So this one I just created based off of the fonts and stuff that I had on my Cricut and what came with my Cricut subscription. And I love how this one turned out. Super cute with the white. I wanted to get an orange shirt, but I couldn't find one, so I just did white and then with the orange vinyl. This one cracks me up. I love this one. As soon as I saw it on, I think it was Etsy, I knew that I had to have it and just decided to make it myself. So I went ahead and I just bought this image off of Etsy. It was only like $3 or something, and then downloaded it and was able to cut it on my Cricut. And then this one over here I thought was super funny too. Same thing, I got this image off of Etsy as well. If for some reason you can't find these images off of your Cricut subscription, you can always find an image or download it, which is super awesome with Cricut. But just another reminder, I got all of these t-shirts and all the other ones from Michael's. So that's a great place to get good quality t-shirts from as well. So without further ado, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys liked some of these t-shirts that I created and you were able to get your own inspiration for your own t-shirts, and you learned a thing or two about making some, and hopefully you can create some of your own. I also want to again thank Cricut so much for sponsoring this video. I still cannot believe that I was given this amazing opportunity. I absolutely love both of my Cricut machines and everything Cricut. It's awesome. So I would love for you guys to comment down below which t-shirt design was your favorite out of all of them, and let me know if you guys decide to try them, and if you do, let me know which one you try. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and hopefully I will see you guys soon. Bye.